Hello everybody and welcome to this image converter review video. I'm going to be talking you through today exactly what you need to know about image converter, and as usual, if you do have any questions regarding this software, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll also be leaving a discounted link in the description of this video so that you can always get your money's worth for image converter. So image converter is a very simple website that essentially allows you to do these 5 things that we see at the bottom. We have the option to get an image from wherever we want, and we'll get on to the actual options of importing images here, which is actually really useful. You can resize an image, so if for example you have an image that you want to change the overall pixel density or things like that of the image and the resolution of it, you're able to do that as well. So as you can see, we're immediately on a typical 480p, which is what we would consider the standard definition, and then we also have the option to add a watermark. So for example, if you did want to have a copyright on an image that you have on your whenever you want, maybe on your website, maybe it's for a DVD cover or anything that you're creating an image and already have one for, you're able to add a watermark to that at a specific location. You're also able to rename the file name, so instead of having to, go into your file explorer and rename it, you can do it all in the software alongside other things and export them all together, and then you have your output option here as well. So let's get started with the rotate option. Now at the bottom we have these 3 options. We have folder, file and remove, and what this allows us to actually do is input either an individual file, as you can see with the file button, or if we already have a folder that is full of images, we can import every single image from that folder into the website. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So here we are, and we have everything here. Now, as you can see, these are all on my OneDrive folder, and what it tells us is it tells us the name of the file. So if we do need to know exactly what it is, and we have a name, and we've obviously, if you've named it a specific thing, you're able to search for it in there. We have the size. So as you can see, for example, the one that I've currently got selected is 548, I'd assume kilobytes, and then you have 15.3 meg, things like that, and then the dimensions or resolution of that specific image. So what we can do now is have a little look at the top here. We have 2 tabs. We have original and we have destination. So destination is what it will become, and original is the original unedited image. So as you can see under the rotate button, we're going to go ahead and immediately activate it. Now we can rotate by these 3 options here. We can either do 90 degrees to the right, 90 degrees to the left, or 180 degrees. So then going to destination, as you can see, the image has been edited there. So that's the original, that's what we've created. And we're going to stay under the destination tab for now just to see the things happen in real time. 90 degrees left, of course, we'll have everything flick over that way, and then overall 180 degrees will turn the entire image upside down. You can also change the condition for width over height or height over width. So essentially, this will pick the section of which it will rotate. As you can see, if I do 90 degrees and then select width over height, that will edit that. But if you've got somebody or an image with 2 vectors, 2 planar vectors, then that will also work for those as well. So you've got width over height or height over width, whichever one that you want it to actually move. Now we'll head on to the resizing option. Now this is where you can basically get an image and change the resolution or the file size of it. So the dimensions are the thing that's going to change here. The width, I'm going to go ahead and select this. We'll just do 64 by 48, and that will keep the correct aspect ratio as long as it's obviously by the same multiple and you've got the right aspect ratio. Obviously 64 and 48 will be a 16 by 9 aspect ratio or a 4 by 3, and basically what that allows you to therefore do is change that to your will. Now you can obviously go up, you can make it 1920 and you can make it 1080, but this will not increase the resolution. This is something that you need to remember. Adding more dimensions to an actual image does not increase the quality. You'd either need to retake the image at a higher resolution, or you can synthetically do it with AI using an upscaler. But this does not increase the resolution, bear that in mind. You can also crop. So if you want it to crop into a specific aspect ratio, then you also can. And what this will do is, instead of resizing the entire image, it will just crop in to the middle of the image or a section of the image wherever you want. As you can see, it can be a fixed width or whatever you want. However, this will basically shrink and only select a certain bit of the image. As we know, when we're cropping a photo on our phones or on anything like that, this has obviously cropped quite a significant portion of the image off, including this glass block that we had earlier. And if I change it back to resize, is obviously it will go back, and then you can change the position of the crop, and you can also change the X offset or the Y offset. So it's very easy to do, and if it also comes with some presets, if there are things that you automatically want to set it to, you're able to do that. Just click through them, have a little brief look. 680 by 480, 800 by 600, 1024 by 768, or even 100 by 75. So they are obviously already pre-assigned aspect ratios as well, and they will work for most of your images. So under watermark, this is where you can overall add, what I'll very quickly do is actually change it back to the original resolution. Now here you can add a watermark for copyright on it. So I'm going to put in opulent at 2023. There we go. And every time you put it in, it will give a random location for it. But what you can also do is obviously change whether it's an image or text. Image will just require you to actually put in your own PNG file. However, text will just bring up a piece of text like so. And you can also change the position, whether you want it to be random or whether you want it to be one of these pre-assigned locations that you're already able to do. So if I wanted to do middle and center, there we go. If I want to do bottom left, we will select bottom and left, and there we go. Very easy to do. You can also change its angle if you want it to be slightly rotated by anything, or the transparency if you want it to be slightly see-through or completely opaque. And the same, you can change the font and the color and also the offset. The rename function allows you to overall just change the name of the image. So when you're saving it to whatever location that you want to on your computer, you can change the name. So the name will be Opulent 1 and the new name will be Opulent. There you go. So that's very easy to do, and you can rename it very easily, and that when you save it will therefore output at the right thing. But you can obviously reset it back to whatever you want and change this applicably. So as you can see, it also allows you to essentially make more files with different things. So as you can see, new name and then hashtag, 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 hashtag. This is essentially code for, it allows the software to select 0001, 0002, 0003, things like that. And then you can go up and up and up and up and up. And you can even set it to start at a specific number if you've already got things that, you know, are already 1, 2, 3, 4, and you wanted to therefore maybe start it on 5 or something like that. And finally, you have the output page, and this is basically where you can set what format you want it to output in, where you want it to output, and a specific quality that you want it to do it in. So as you can see, we've got all of these options. We have JPEGs, PNGs, BMPs, GIFs, TIFFs, all of these different file types that you're able to export it as, which are very, very useful as well. So what do I think about ImageConverter? And do I recommend it? And why might people want to use it? And let's answer that question first, why people might want to use a software like this. And in my opinion, I think that what this aims to do is create a streamlined and very easy piece of software where images can have things done to them that you wouldn't technically be able to do all in one software. They would be things that are slapped on last minute into Photoshop just so that you can get that image out. Being able to add watermarks and things like that and resize an image really easily without having to create new things and then drag images down like you would in Photoshop or export it as different things. This allows you to very quickly do it and just hit output, output, output. It's efficient. It focuses on, you know, time and speed, and that's what really matters about this and why people might want to use this. I would definitely recommend it as well. The fact that you can also add folders instead of just individual files is excellent. That's something, for example, that Photoshop and other resizing things, or at least with resizing capabilities, do not have. The option to have all of your things down the left and resize them one by one very, very quickly is much better than importing all individually and then having to export them in the correct, you know, size every single time. So that is definitely one of the reasons why I would recommend this. I think that it's really easy to use. You do not need any prior knowledge of image editing or image exporting or anything like that. And the main thing is you can do it on even the most lowest end of computers. This is very, very, very non-resource heavy, and that's another reason why I would recommend it. But thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you next time, and for now, goodbye.